Hey, I'm Claire. I'm 56 years old, and I'm going to be straight with you, right out of the gate. The question that keeps me up at night, it's not about my health. It's not about my kids. It's this. Am I going to run out of money before I run out of life? I've been a financial planner for over 20 years. I've helped hundreds of families get to retirement and actually stay there financially. And yet, I still sit down with my own spreadsheets and ask myself the exact same questions you do. Because here's the truth: nobody is immune to this stuff. Not people with $300,000, not people with 3 million. The anxiety doesn't disappear when the number gets bigger, it just changes shape. So today, I'm walking you through 5 real reasons people run out of money in retirement and exactly how to avoid each one. Not theory, not fluff. Real talk with real numbers. Let's get into it. All right. Mistake number 1. And I'm going to warn you, this one might sting a little. It's going into retirement without actually knowing what you spend. I know, I know. You're probably thinking, Claire, come on, I know roughly what I spend. And I'm going to say this with all the love in the world. No, you probably don't. Not precisely. And in retirement, roughly can cost you. Here's what I've seen over 20 years of doing this work. People save really well. Seriously, they do everything right during the saving phase. Max out the 401k, build up the brokerage account, stay out of credit card debt, gold stars all around. And then they walk into retirement and say, I think we spend about 5 or 6,000 a month. And when we actually sit down and run the real numbers, it's 8,000, sometimes 9. Now, and I want to be crystal clear about this. Having more money saved is always better. Full stop. A bigger nest egg gives you more cushion, more options, more breathing room. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. But here's what's also true: the size of your savings only matters in relation to what you spend. I've seen people with $400,000 sleep like babies at night. And I've seen people with 1.5 million white knuckling it through every single market dip because their lifestyle costs demanded it. It's not about picking a winner between those two people. It's about understanding your own equation. Warren Buffett has this great line. He said, "Do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving." That mindset doesn't stop at retirement. It evolves. You flip the script, but the discipline stays. So here is your action step for this week. Pull the last 3 months of your bank and credit card statements and sort every dollar, every single dollar, into 3 categories. Category 1, needs: housing, food, utilities, insurance, medications. Category 2, comfort: your car, subscriptions, phone, regular dining out. Category 3, joy: travel, hobbies, gifts, experiences. That breakdown becomes your retirement spending baseline. Without it, every projection you run is just a guess, dressed up as a plan. Well, I did this exercise for myself last year. I found out my joy category was running 40% higher than I thought. 40%. Me, the financial planner. So, yeah, no judgment here. Just do the math. Mistake number 2, retiring on emotion instead of a plan. Look, I get it. You're burned out. Your body's telling you it's time. Your boss is getting on your very last nerve. Those are real signals. I'm not dismissing any of them. But Benjamin Franklin was not joking when he said, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. And in retirement, the consequences of that aren't abstract. They show up in your bank account. usually at the worst possible time. A real retirement plan covers 5 interconnected areas. All 5, not 4. Area number 1, investment strategy. Your portfolio needs to shift from growth mode to distribution mode. These are completely different strategies, and confusing them is one of the most common and costly mistakes I see. Area number 2, income plan. Where is money coming from every single month? Social Security? Dividends? An annuity? Rental income? You need a clear, written answer, not "we'll figure it out." Area number 3, healthcare. If you're retiring before 65, how are you covering your health insurance until Medicare kicks in? I have had clients who completely forgot to budget for this. We're talking $800 to $1,400 a month, depending on your state and your coverage level. That kind of surprise can blow up an otherwise solid plan. Area number 4, tax strategy. I'm going to go deep on this in just a minute, but here's the short version. Tax planning is not the same as filing your tax return. One is reactive. The other is proactive. You need the second one. Area number 5, estate plan. Do you have a will? A durable power of attorney? A healthcare proxy? Are your beneficiary designations up to date on every single account? This isn't morbid. This is love. It's how you protect the people who matter most to you. Miss any one of these 5 areas, and you've got a gap in your plan. And gaps in plans have a way of becoming very expensive surprises down the road. As the old saying goes, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Never more true than in retirement planning. Okay, mistake number 3. And this one is sneaky because it doesn't feel like a mistake when you're making it. It's not having a withdrawal strategy that actually accounts for taxes. Most people have their retirement savings spread across 3 types of accounts, and each one is taxed completely differently. Let me break it down. Bucket 1, pre-tax money. Your traditional IRA, your 401k, your 403b. You got a tax break when you put money in. The IRS deferred the bill. They did not forgive it. Every dollar you pull out gets taxed as ordinary income. Bucket 2, after-tax brokerage money. You already paid income tax on this money before it went in. When you sell investments, you only owe tax on the gains. And if you've held them more than a year, it's the lower capital gains rate. Bucket 3, tax-free money. Roth IRA, Roth 401k. You paid taxes up front. Now the growth and the withdrawals, completely tax-free in retirement. As strategies go, this one ages like fine wine. Here's where people go wrong. They pull exclusively from the biggest bucket, usually the pre-tax accounts, without thinking about what that does to their tax bracket. And here's what they don't see coming. IRMAA. IRMAA. Income-related monthly adjustment amount. It's an extra surcharge on your Medicare premiums if your income crosses certain thresholds. Crossing that first threshold can cost a couple nearly $840 extra per year, just from one decision. Just from taking too much from the wrong account. Now, and I feel strongly about this, I am not going to tell you there is one right withdrawal strategy, because there isn't. Some people want to maximize their own spending power while they're alive. Others want to pay taxes now so their kids inherit as much tax-free money as possible. And here is something I really want you to hear. Those 2 goals are not mutually exclusive. With smart Roth conversions, strategic asset placement, and a little planning every fall, you can often do both. Live well now and leave something meaningful behind. It takes work, but it is absolutely achievable. My personal rule of thumb: Every October, sit down and look at where you stand tax-wise for the year. How much income have you already recognized? Is there room in your current tax bracket to do a Roth conversion before December 31st? That one annual conversation can be worth tens of thousands of dollars over the course of a retirement. Will Rogers once said, "The only difference between death and taxes is that death doesn't get worse every time Congress meets." He wasn't wrong. But at least taxes you can plan around. Mistake number 4. This one goes in both directions, and both directions are dangerous. It's getting your investment risk wrong in retirement, either staying too aggressive or going so conservative that you quietly lose to inflation. Let me explain both failure modes. Too aggressive. The market drops 30%. You need money right now. You sell at the bottom. That is not a market loss. That is a permanent loss. This is called sequence of returns risk. The idea that when bad returns happen matters just as much as how bad they are. A bear market in year 2 of retirement can do far more damage than the exact same bear market in year 20. Now, too conservative. You park everything in CDs and treasury bills because it feels safe. Inflation runs at 3.5% a year. Your safe account earns 2%. You are losing purchasing power in slow motion. 20 years of that, and your $1,000 buys what $500 used to. That is not safety. That is a slow leak in your tire. John Bogle, founder of Vanguard, put it this way. He said, "The idea that a bell rings to signal when investors should get into or out of the market is simply not credible." After nearly 50 years in the business, he did not know of anybody who had done it successfully and consistently. The point is this: don't try to time it. Structure it. Here is a practical framework based on time horizons. Layer 1. Money you need in the next 1 to 2 years. Cash, high-yield savings, money market. Zero market risk. Full stop. Layer 2. Money you need in 3 to 7 years. Moderate risk. Short to intermediate bonds, dividend-paying stocks, balanced funds. Layer 3. Money you won't need for 8 or more years. This is your growth engine. Diversified equity portfolio. This money has time to ride out downturns and recover. The logic is simple. When the market tanks, you live on layers 1 and 2. You don't touch layer 3. It recovers. You sleep at night. But, and this is critical, this only works if you've already done the work on your spending and if you revisit your plan every year. These pieces don't work in isolation. They are a system. I'm 56 years old. I have a potential 30-year retirement horizon ahead of me. I cannot afford to hide in cash, but I also cannot afford to be reckless. Every year, I rebalance. Every year, the conversation shifts a little. That is not a flaw in the plan. That is the plan, working exactly as it should. And here we are. Mistake number 5. Possibly the quietest one. Possibly the most damaging. It's treating your retirement plan like a slow cooker. Set it, forget it, come back in 30 years. I understand the temptation. You've spent months, sometimes years, gathering documents, running projections, making hard decisions. You are exhausted. You want it to be done. But life doesn't care about your timeline. Tax laws change, markets shift, health changes, sometimes suddenly. Kids need help, a spouse passes, a roof needs replacing. Inflation surprises everyone. What was a perfectly optimized plan at 63 might be completely off track at 68. Mark Twain said it best. It ain't what you don't know that gets you into trouble. It's what you know for sure that just ain't so. That is retirement planning in one sentence. The people who get hurt the most are the ones who are certain their plan is fine and never bother to check. So here is what I recommend. 2 focused reviews every single year. Review number 1, spring, March or April. Ask yourself, how did my spending track against what I projected? Is my portfolio allocation still right for where I am today? Did anything major change in my life this year? What are my financial priorities going forward? Review number 2, fall, October or November. Ask yourself, how much taxable income have I already recognized this year? Is there a Roth conversion opportunity before December 31st? Are my withholdings on track to avoid a big surprise in April? Any changes to Medicare or Social Security I need to account for? And outside of those 2 scheduled reviews, any major life event triggers an immediate plan review. Death of a spouse, a significant inheritance, a serious health diagnosis, sale of a home. These are not calendar items. These are drop everything moments. Someone I respect in this industry once said, retirement isn't a finish line. It's a 25 to 30-year career you haven't trained for yet. And he is right. Every year is different. The economy is different. Your body is different. Your needs are different. A plan that can't flex will eventually break. A plan that's revisited regularly, that's a plan that can actually go the distance. I want to leave you with something personal. When I turned 55, something shifted in me. Not because I was unprepared. I wasn't. But because for the first time, retirement wasn't an abstract future event. It was a specific number of years away. And that changes the feeling completely. So I sat down and did everything I just walked you through. I ran the spending numbers, reviewed my portfolio allocation, looked hard at my tax situation and my withdrawal strategy, updated my estate documents, and I found gaps. Me, the person who does this for a living. Nothing catastrophic, but real gaps that needed addressing. And you know what? That wasn't a failure. That was the system working. That's what the regular review is for. Lao Tzu said, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Your step today might be pulling those 3 months of bank statements, or scheduling a conversation with your advisor, or just finally sitting down and writing out what you actually want retirement to look like for you. Any one of those is a win. Drop a comment below and tell me, which of these 5 mistakes hit closest to home for you? I read every single comment. No joke. Next week, we're getting into the actual math of how to figure out how much you, specifically, need to retire. Not the generic multiply by 25 rule you've seen everywhere. A real methodology built around your actual life. I'm Claire. This is Claire Knows Money. And we are going to figure this out together. If this helped you look at retirement even slightly differently, please subscribe to the channel. I release a new video every week. No unnecessary information, no general advice, just honest conversation from someone who works in this field. With you. See you next week.